going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel. We're online at www.whatsupinthesky.com and welcome back to another Martian anomaly video, or Mars anomalies if you like to call it that. Today we're looking at an older Spirit. This is from 2004, the Spirit Rover. And I tell you, I was watching Brian Hopkins. He put out a 5 best, his Martian archaeologist. I'm going to show you his page here in a minute. He put out 5 best Martian anomalies, and this one was on it. And I'd never really seen it before. I was really surprised, and it was interesting. And I think it was Neville Thomas. He's really good when it comes to this stuff. Like, his stuff is always on point. He does all sorts of panoramas. He finds anomalies. Dude, he's a really hardcore researcher. He deserves credit for a lot of. I'm pretty sure he's the one who did this actual layout. But if you check his video out, there's a 3D vector of this. It shows it in 3D and spins it around. And it is awful weird shape here. And this is a huge file. It's also a lot of space covered. This is the Bonneville crater. Spirit Rover touched down not too far from it. And along with this, it seems to be just a broken up civilization. Something that smashed up this whole place, just totally destroyed everything that was there. Totally took it up. Like, we're seeing pieces. I'm seeing pieces of all sorts of stones on this picture. And we'll come back to that one here in a minute. Let me just kind of give you a brief. And that, yes, the sky is blue. And now let me show you what I've done here, because this isn't how it's come. When I got the picture, I actually did that myself. Let me go ahead and get my keyboard back working again. I'll just start and step backwards. What I've done, there we go. That's how it comes. And you can get it from right here. Here's the spot. Don't worry about this. I'm going to go ahead and if you go down to the description, just click the description. You're going to see the link there. You can click it. Get the TIFF if you got the hard drive space, because that's going to get you the quality so you can actually see the thing. But look how the Spirit Rover, all the color pictures back there, they got that false color they give out or whatever. It's that real, this is a 360-degree view. So basically if it, if it went around in circles and took it. And so basically what I've done is I've matched the color to this picture right here, because that's got a lot of color here from Earth. And to me, basically, it's showing you what it looks like here on Earth. Then I just tuned it up a little bit. But you see the picture's the same, but now it's so much easier to see the anomaly, see the rocks, see stuff like that. Like if you go on here, it's just all blended in when it comes like that. But for some reason, when you get to that, you start adding that auto color, or if you match it to something like that, that blue, it starts picking up that, it looks like it's here on Earth. So it's easier to see, I think, for our eyes. There's a couple of things just off in the distance. I think this might be part of the spacecraft. I'm not sure, but this is just whited out like that on the other picture as well. And around the crater walls, there's all sorts of good stuff. I don't know where to start on this picture. There was so much stuff to take a look at. But the theme of it was, to me, I kept seeing clean cuts that didn't look like they were just blown in the wind, or have been basically the sanded flat over the years. I'm seeing things that were cut at one time, sheared off. Also, some things that look like just like cracking now, from like instant cracking, like from stuff that's been going on lately, like movements of lately. So stuff's still maybe moving out there. And then we're just got an array of angles, shapes. This stuff looks like it hit a temple somewhere and just splattered it across the, probably a couple of miles. So, and you'll see that as you go through here, just the sheer amount of angles you get. Where, check that one out there, where it's the full way through. It looks like you get, oops. And everything looks to be dug in. See down here, more angles, things that look like they've been worked out. And I know that the strata of the rock can look like this. I see what I see, you see what you see. To a geologist, this stuff may just look normal. So yeah, that's nothing. That's normal stuff for a planet that has it. Now also among the rubble, and you think all the rubble would probably be the same in one area, but not so here. There's some that are real porous, some that are real flat. And then there's also this looks like slag that's just been melted. There's this really hot degree of temperature. Look at this right here, like it's like the rock was just melted. Now that has to get, and you could tell here that the rover was interested in this, just as it was interested in. See, these are the tracks from the rover. That's kind of interesting right there too. That piece that comes up out of the ground there. And if you follow the tracks, you can see the pieces that it was interested in. That other rock over here, it was also interested in. See how it comes over here, then it comes back up here and actually comes in. To take another look at it, you can see the tracks. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back out to where this out here, I think is part of, this is the lander. This is what it rolled up off of. Um, Otherwise, you'd have one heck of an anomaly right off the bat. Look at that. It's part of the spacecraft basically out there. Is that what that is? Um, Look, I'll start on the left and go right, and we'll jump over to the crater because the crater's got the more. And like I said, you guys are probably going to see so much more than me. That's why I love your comments. Comment below, and even if you're doing it just as the video is going, put the time and say, "Whoa, that looks awesome," or like I said, there's stuff in there. Look at the point this comes to. It just looks like some of this stuff uh, I haven't seen. See, okay, look at the sheer clipping of that. Like it's just been sheared straight off. Down here, look at this thing piece right here. This looks like a little claw. It's got this that comes up. And it looks like a claw of an animal or something like that that's been there and done, or a piece of a machinery or a piece of something that was once. I'm thinking a lot of this stuff just isn't rock. You know, where it looks like rock because when you right now it's I've got it matched blue because it matched the sky here on that Arizona picture, but you know it when they put all this stuff together, it looks like this junk yellow stuff. You couldn't tell metal from with a little bit of dust over top of some of the stuff. You couldn't tell the difference between metal, rocks. It's amazing, especially this. This is actually better than some of the Curiosity rover pictures that are coming back. Really, the hiding and stuff didn't start till the new Curiosity rover came out. I swear that's when they really started getting into these pictures. And Spirit, it was doomed from the beginning. It came across some weird stuff. If you just go through the archives and type in Spirit Rover anomalies just on Google, anywhere on my website, you're gonna find all sorts of stuff that eventually it bombed out or it stopped communicating with the host. Um, some interesting. See how this comes up right here. This almost looks like this, not part of the rock, but something that's just kicking sand up there. Not really sure. And you can tell it's mosaic, like I said, as you come to this side, there's some more, a little bit prettier. And then even looks like right here, we've got this shape to it too. And where I'm imagining is somewhere like Egypt, somewhere buried in the sand, or some like Pumapunku that had stuff just thrown about everywhere. Um, Rocks that are cut beautifully. Look at this right here. Tell me this doesn't look like a piece of something, but it's got that perfect shear off of it that I just don't see. And it's not. They're all not in the same direction either. So it's not like the winds, are constantly pushing sand up against this one direction and it's flattened it out. I've never seen. Sand actually flatten. I live by the beach. Actually flatten stuff out like that. That looks like it was chopped perfectly with a saw, a rope saw, something along those lines. Something intelligent made that cut. Here, more stuff. And like I said, this stuff, who knows how far it goes down, and who knows what it could have been part of. Like I said, if there was a strike, something happened. I know that I'm really, the Thunderbolts guy, there's Thunderbolts, it's, I forget the actual name of the channel right now, but it's, I'll link it to, they have this, the Mars and the Earth are the Mars Thunderbolt theory, basically like the electrical universe, and that there was a huge thunderbolt that hit this planet, and that's what made that big that big. If you're looking at Mars, in the middle of it, there's a huge, what looks like cavern, or chasm or whatever you want to call it. There, it's just deep, dark, and it's foils out kind of. It doesn't look like it got hit by an asteroid. It looks like it would when a lightning bolt strikes it. And they prove that too with some good science, I think, in their videos. So I think it's Thunderbolt's project. That's what it is. And see how like you've got some just little circles into this stuff here, and comes up. It almost looks like this stuff could be furniture. And look at this right here. Tell me that's not interesting. Um, what's that? Okay, ready? That's a 90 degrees. That's a 90 degrees. That's a 90 degrees. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. 90 degrees, and it comes back down. Um, Very unlikely that you'd find that something like that in nature, just sitting there, especially next to something else that, I mean, maybe one you could find, somewhere, one somewhere, but that looks like it's been, something was done. Some sort of hand touched that. Some sort of intelligence did that. More and more when you look at these pictures, it's pretty cool. This is a big one here too. This whole picture is huge. Um, these rovers were they. I was really impressed. I tell you, Opportunity of Spirit brought back some amazing photographs. And Opportunity's still doing it. I still get on Mars images. A lot of people forget that that's out there rocking and rolling. Opportunity's still out there rolling. Um, that's just more of a bolder piece there. And look how the sand just gets real like soft and almost looks like quicksand as you run through these pictures. And you wonder if they're hiding stuff, if that was done with like the actual, a tool on Photoshop here to maybe make that more sand and smooth it out to hide stuff. Not sure. But I tell you what, we do see that in the Curiosity pictures a lot too. Just the shapes I'm looking at here. Circle and that comes up and around and it goes over to looks like a 90-degree angle. Almost looks like the roof of something. And like I said, we're looking at size here. Um, to me, the size it ranges because I don't. I'm not gonna say that life can't be intelligent. Humanoids can't be, this big, or they could be the size of us, maybe 15 times our size on any given planet, on any given, evolution, any way that they're formed. Um, who knows what sizes are out there? That Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, that found that 6-inch alien, or they'd given him to do some testing on it. And I mean, the DNA. The last thing I saw, the DNA was a little bit inconclusive, but it said that it wasn't, fully human, possibly. So, who really knows what can and can't be done? Like in evolution, we've got animals that are small, huge. So size and the scale doesn't really get to me as much. A lot of people put a lot of emphasis on scale. That's just me personally. Like I said, I see what I see, you see what you see. That's how I've always done this channel. Um, I'm sure you're seeing, hopefully you guys are seeing some of the geometry into these pieces. This is kind of interesting piece right here as well too. And as we roll out, there's another one up here I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, here it is, the little spiral piece. Tell me that doesn't look like a little spiral, kind of like like but the tool, or basically what people open their wine with, that one, with the spiral at the bottom, almost snake-like around a post or something like that, just in there. I know some of you guys probably saw that little thing that looked like a skull back there, and I forgot to mention it, but I won't go back there. I'm sure some of you guys saw it. I know my subscribers pretty well now. I'm starting to get to know you guys, and you guys are good. You guys got good eyes, I tell you what. All right, let's keep this moving. We already took a look at that right there with that piece. Now let me go back up here to the ridge. Basically, we're gonna go over to slowly move over to, I don't want to make you guys sick. We're gonna slowly move over to the, just look at these things. This looks like it was part of something at one time, and it just, like I said, it just got the hammer. Like these were huge slabs at one time. I mean, I'm talking thick slabs that were foundations for something, pillars. I mean, have you seen some of the stuff that's down in down in Peru, and there's a couple other like I can stand up. I'm 6'3". We can stand two of me up, and some of these things would be bigger than me. These rocks that were moved. So there's rocks that are huge. It looks like it just took something, some force, and ripped it out. Here's some interesting shape for you. That's like a perfect oval. It almost looks like some sort of plate or something along those lines. This was kind of interesting. I didn't notice this before, but see how this kind of comes up in the top like a little dolphin nose. But here it's got a little straight line in it. Almost looks like that's carved into it, whatever it is there. And the rover did come and take a look at it. Stopped. You can see it did some maneuvers and took a look down in there. So maybe they were poking at it or prodding at it with it. Um, I really like the blue color, or like the to match the color, especially on these panoramic. I think it's better for us to see it that way. I mean, I know I see it much better than if I just had the other color up. And it familiarized. It looks familiar to us, especially our eyes, we're used to seeing stuff in blue, or we're used to seeing rocks that look that color, and that Mars color that they try and sell us just doesn't, to me, it doesn't sit. It doesn't feel right. All right, here we go. Let's see. This looks like a piece of something there for sure. A platform, and you can even see it's been hollowed out. The back's been kind of broken on it, but it looks like there's a little bit of dust or something in there, a little Martian dust. You guys see that? You guys seeing that? That's what I'm seeing there. And as it backs out, here there's a little bright spot. And then this was the bright spot right here that I'll show you. I couldn't tell if this was part of the rover or not, or part of the landing gear or something, but it's definitely bright. Whatever's flickering that back at us is bright as can be. Let's see. And that's how it looked when it came. So, I mean, it was even bright there. Alright. Let's see. Here we go. I'm using my keyboards to get me back. My buddy Olympus Guy would be proud. Christian. Usually I get yelled at on here. Stop using your commands from up here. I'm just using the keyboard a little bit. Alright, so let's mosey on over to the crater. I won't keep you guys long because some of the good stuff's over there. And like I said, as we go across, you're going to start picking up shapes because really this whole picture is just filled with anomalies. Stuff that looks like it was attached at one time to something else. Look at this. The geometry comes down, over, across. I mean, we're talking perfect geometry in some of these blocks. Not all of them. Not all of them, but some of them. Look at this interesting thing right here. Looks like it's got a, whatever it is, that looks like it's been chiseled out. It's got a piece hanging off right there. It almost looks like it's a something you would wind up if just to equate it to something here on Earth. More blocks. Okay, look at these blocks here. This is really looks like a statue, or one that was, this stuff was close together. Okay, look. All right, so we're coming along. This looks like, if I showed you this right here in this color, would you tell me this was Mars? I wonder how many people would say this is Mars, or they would say, oh, this is an ancient site here on Earth somewhere. Okay, we're looking at geometry here. Look at this here. It looks like it might have been perfect. It's got a little bevel in it, even ornate. Here it's got a little bit ornate, but look at that one right there. It comes out, comes down, and then it cuts back out this way. And if this is either part of the blind, if it is, it's outstanding. If not, either that or it's dust. But there's no illusion here. It comes back down to here, and it comes to another 90-degree angle right there. I mean, that's to see this among just so much of it, and it not. This doesn't look like the strata you see at the bottom of the ocean or something like that. This looks like stuff that was sitting on top. I mean, look at that. Look how formed this piece here in the middle is. It looks like it's been, sanded out. It was cut. It was part of something. It was ornate. These pieces here, if you could add these to them, like, I mean, I'm sure if someone really wanted to, they could probably sit here and put some sort of interesting statue together just by pasting and copying these blocks together. I mean, look right here. We've got this piece, very interesting, just not random, doesn't match anything at all. It's got this piece at the top, it's cylindrical that comes and hangs over this lighter piece. And this has got 1, 2, 3 that look like they're rounded. I mean, what are we getting there? What is this stuff? Up here, here's something that's cylindrical. Look, check it out. You can even see it. It looks like it's hollow. Cylindrical and it looks like it's hollowed. So, I mean, we're talking that this something really had some power to shake this place up. We've got some real interesting, we're going to find as we keep moving along here, there's some more perfect looking blocks. Especially once we get up to that to the rim. Here's just so we see it more over here. Look, cut, shaped. Looks like it's even got some dividend in the back. This probably goes down. I imagine it's probably shaped all the way around. More would seem to be cut and shaped. This stuff, and it's shaped like you'd see down in not Puma. He's saying Pumapunku. I'm thinking of like Easter Island, not Easter Island. I'm thinking it's been a long weekend already. It's only what, Saturday. I'm taking my friend Christina from Russia to the nation's capital tomorrow. We're gonna go check out the Smithsonian, the zoo, and probably gonna rain on us, but So I've got my mind elsewhere too, getting ready to get packed up for that little trip. But um, so forget what I was saying there. Basically, this stuff looks to be more and more shapes. I mean, you can't hopefully you can't miss it. Hopefully, you guys see this. But now, if you've been watching my videos by now, this is one that if you're, hopefully you're interested and you've already went and started downloading it because it's one to definitely have for the collection. Now, where was that? There was a couple of circle ones. We've been over there already. I see I'm not even following it all the way down to the bottom. And down here you've got some stuff that looks like that porous, melted, almost lava type stuff here. Either that or some sort of skeleton. Um, I guess if you put it right here, this kind of looks like like a face of a dinosaur or something like that, skeleton laying there. Who knows? But it definitely doesn't look like the rest of the rocks. Here you've got more interesting blocks. Maybe we're looking at what used to be a quarry or something along those lines. And look at this as you come up. The more and more you come around the corner, you just more and more shapes you see that look at this. It's got a little oval there. Comes up and around. It comes there. This looks to be shaped. More here looks to be shaped. And the one back behind it looks to be shaped. And we're talking an awful lot of blocks that look to be shaped for one area, for sitting in one place to just say, oh, that's just, nature taking that over. Up here, this looks kind of hollowed out, that piece. Very interesting though. I love it. More of that kind of like that lava type looking rock. It almost looks like it was melted into place. However, look at this here. This is just kind of sitting out there on top. And sitting on this, we got like a little perfect wheel back behind there. This has little. You can actually see it in there. How it's like got a little bar that runs across the top, almost like it was chiseled out. It's like, what was this stuff at one time? Who knows? It's almost, it's pretty amazing actually, some of this stuff. The more and more I look at it. Alright, now we're getting out to this corner here, which really, I really found this stuff pretty awesome. Alright, first starting right here, just as this comes up, just like another block that goes over the side of the crater. Looks like it was chipped up just like the rest of them. But you start seeing more of like shapes. Yeah, this kind of got some shape to it. This comes down. This has actually got a piece that comes up and goes over and connects to it, like a little piping or something along those lines. I mean, what could that be? Unless it's either plant life, some sort of life, or what could that actually? What rock could make that? I mean, it's got to be something that grows there. And this is interesting too. See how this piece here has this? It looks like it's almost like ramped up to that. It doesn't look right. See this here? It just doesn't look right to me. Something's either been moved out of this picture or something's been put in, or maybe this is just ramps up behind it and that's why it's that color behind. Maybe it's a piece of the rock still, but we'll keep moving over on here. Keep on moving. More of the angles. See these angles? I mean, look at them. They look like rooftops of stuff, some of these angles. And it's not here. Okay, this was one of the little mystery blocks. This was dark on both. See this right here? Look how dark this is. Whatever this material is, it's just this dark. And nothing else around it is that dark. So what in the world is this? It was either added by NASA or I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, it is totally blacked out there. And it looks like it could be part of a block possibly, but maybe like a black obsidian cube or something like that, or I mean, whatever it is, it's gorgeous if it was a cube, but you can't see the depth to it like you can see the rocks around it. Um, Pretty interesting, I must say. That was one of the ones that caught my eye. At first, I was like, okay, well, that had to have been just what I had done, the manipulations. And when we bring it back, it's the same color. And I can even bring it back here for you if you want to see it, just to prove it. See? Same thing. What in the world? Where did that come from? Once again, we've got more what seem to be cut and perfectly shaved off. Even down here, little rounded off pieces. Rounded pieces here. The whole Bonneville crater looks like it's got junk in it. Uncle Jake's junkyard. And these are huge, these blocks. I mean, we're talking, let's see that right there. It's got some, um, I want to look for, in here there was like a perfect cane looking thing too earlier I noticed. It's like every time you go back you try and find the same stuff. Okay, look at this piece right here. It's got like a bevel that runs with it. This one comes up with a bevel and the whole top of it here is beveled as well. It's like lipped. Comes there, comes down to a little triangle piece at the bottom. Could be nature doing it. Like I said, I'm always on the fence, but this to me, this stuff just looks like it was something that was built at one time and exploded. Somehow, the Thunderbolt in theory is pretty. It makes a lot of sense to me in many ways. Now I'm missing some of these spheres that I'd found earlier, and the little candy cane jobby. I wish I could find the candy cane jobby. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at this one right here. Look at this right here. How it kind of has this piece coming off the top. These little spheres, I see these on the Curiosity Rover picks these things up all the time. I got a little thing they called it the Pigs of Mars. Not sure what's going on with those. Another little perfect circle. The rock's buried, just got dirt all over it. I wish we could sit there and just blow off, 5 feet of dirt from this whole picture and then see what's under there. And I think we'd be surprised. Here's another little sphere, but you can't really see it well because it's out there in the distance. Some cylinder objects. Let's see, where was that one? I wish I could find a couple other things I had found earlier. Now this is interesting to me too. Check this out. Check how the wind or whatever did this puts this down perfectly. I mean that's perfect. It's like they're evenly spaced. It almost was like it was done by something. Um, it looks almost like a crop circle or something, but with lines. I've seen this in Mars before from some of the orbiter pictures, like the sand will do that, but that's just, to me, that's just too cool. Hopefully you guys, the significance of that. I mean, I don't know what the really significance is, or what, maybe there's stuff that's buried under there, and these are walls of some sort, or maybe just little, I don't know what that could be. It's, your guess is as good as mine on some of this stuff. But I'm going to get going. I don't see that one candy cane thing anymore. There's a couple, oh, there's another one I want to show you. More blocky pieces would look like maybe some chiseling in the middle. Perfect circle right here. I noticed that earlier. Just kind of sitting there. Not much around it either. Just perfect though. And you're seeing it as an oval because we're looking at it on an angle. So, I mean, maybe is that what something hit here? What else would make a perfect circle? Maybe that thing goes down. I'd love to just, like I said, take off 5 feet of dirt and see what's under that thing. Oh, look at this here up on this thing. And we're going to get a little blurry as we look at this. See this over here? How that might just be an illusion, but it looks like it's got like a teapot spout to it. It's probably just an illusion from shadow. Same things over here. Interesting rock formations that come up. Like I said, everything just looks like it's been destroyed now. See if you guys see anything with me. Now this is part of the lander too. I believe this was one piece of it, obviously. Or that would have been like the #1 thing I started off with. Whoa, look at this. It belongs to the other piece out there. It almost looks like it almost went into the crater. Alright, here's where some of the stuff is I wanted to take a look at. I keep thinking I'm done and I don't let you guys go. Okay, this is where we started earlier. I've already gone over some of this stuff with you. Okay, look, here we go. Okay, look down here, this piece. See how it's got little compartments to it? Like a figure 8 just in there. I mean, they look like they're about the same size. Just thought that was interesting. Hey, two same size like holes. How's that work out? More rounded, more inside that, a little more rounded. Up here, it's got a little piece that looks like a little bit of metal there. It's got a little divot in there. Almost looks like a little eyeball divot. But, once I get off here and say, all right, guys, what's up in the Sky 37? I hit the close button, the end. I'll find that little candy cane thing, and it was significant because it was totally out of place. All right, check this little thing out. Tell me that doesn't look like a little guy sitting in a chair. I'm sure that's just an illusion. Some of you guys don't think that's an illusion. Some of you guys think that there are little guys that are on there now. And like I said, I can't rule it out totally because I've seen stuff move. We've got rocks that have moved, things like that. So unless these rovers are just totally fake, there's some stuff moving up there on Mars. More and more blocks. We looked at this earlier. So let me back on out. Let me go back to that first anomaly we showed you guys. That was pretty cool there. So much to see. I'm so upset about the candy cane thing. And I know I'm going to find it here in a second. And be like, okay, guys. I don't want to drag the video out too long. You guys stayed with me this long. I love you guys. You guys rock. I've got my core group of people who will sit and watch the whole video. So I do want to start making some, like I said, when I get these big pictures where I've got really good solid anomalies, I do want to take some, do some of the shorter videos to get some of them out where I'm not talking as much or basically not even talking at all. But then I have this. This looks like a little tongue sitting. Is this part of that? Is that connected there? Or is that just sitting on top of it? I think it might just be sitting on top of it. But either way, that looks to be cut um, at one time. Beautiful. And we leave you guys with it. Once again, this was just too cool. The more and more I look at this stuff, the more and more I see, everything what we would find in an archaeology site here on Earth. It's like we need to send archaeologists up there, and I'm sure, hopefully, if we don't blow ourselves up here on Earth in maybe 1,000 years, we'll have all we need to know. If we don't know everything about Earth as it is now, sometimes I get a little bit ahead of myself. So, ooh, where'd you go? All right, guys, there it is. Now let me bring it back to how NASA sent it down to you, so you can see the junk view. There it is. All right, guys, what's up in the sky 37? www.whatsupinthesky.com. This is one, like I said, I saw today on Brian Hopkins' video, and I said, you know what? I want to do that crater. I gotta get it. I gotta get a copy of this one just to get it out. It's one of the old Spirit ones. I'm trying to finish my Spirit collection up too. So, all right, guys, much love. Hope you had a good weekend so far. Have a good one. Peace.